Greetings, TheWarOwl greets you, and welcome to another Matchmaking Academy, where you are the star for all the wrong reasons, but don't worry, we're going to figure out what those reasons are and help you improve at Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Our hero today is Garchomp. He's a distinguished Master Guardian player, that's here. And because he's a little bit higher on the skill scale than we normally have in the Matchmaking Academies, we're going to be focusing on some different stuffs. Now, he had some questions about how to deal with taking A, and this is a team in particular that is having a lot of trouble with just sealing the deal. There he goes. You didn't deserve that. You probably should have died by Marshall there, but either way, have trouble with sealing the deal, because we see they're 15-7 right now, and it ends up tied 15-15, meaning they're so far ahead here, and they do not get a single point. So let's figure out what's going on here. We got Garchomp. He's clearly taking the entry fragger role. He's doing a good job with it. He's already gotten 2 entry frags. This should be just a GG right now. Look at the guns that the other guys have. And needlessly throws away the advantage there in just a few seconds. So let's actually pause and just talk about that one individual little specific area right there before we get into the meat and potatoes of this and talk about taking A site. Now, we notice he took 2 entry frags over here at A. The idea is there's probably 1 player left inside of A. We see that he also had some players pushed up on B. So you have 2 decisions. One is pull the players back from B, move over here and take A, right? And start splitting him. Move in from this side, move in from this side. Also, maybe get a player in here from the apartments. Anything you want to do, you only have 1 player to deal with, right? He could have just stayed right here and watched for the rotates. Let's say these B players are going to try to rotate back. You could just sit here, chill, wait for those players. So that's decision number 1. Decision number 2 is, let's take B sites. So look at this. We've taken this area. We think there's a player over here inside of A, which, I mean, based on where he got those picks, is a good assumption to make. They have players pushed up banana, so they could pretty much split it from both sides. Move in here, like they're doing right now, which they actually end up failing to do. That would have been nice. However, there is no situation that I see would make sense for the player to run over here, where he did, at that point in time, and get picked. Now, getting picked is not something you control, can you? He also kind of jumped around the corner. We're not going to talk about that. It's just a decision-making thing, and there was no reason for him to go here, and it's just a pattern that I've seen with this player in particular. It's overextending himself, getting a little too aggressive in his entry fragging, even after he gets the pick, even after he gets the advantage. We don't see this team reshuffle themselves and figure out how to use that advantage. Instead, they keep throwing it away, and we're gonna look at another example of that. This is just an eco, so it's not really that important, but he moves over here and boom, 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 actually picks the player, gets a gun, and realizes his mistake right about there. Jumping over the side into Bombsite A. I'm not sure why he did that. He grabbed the pick, had an advantage at that point, bombed down over here at middle, the rest of his team is dead, and he decides to jump over the railing where there probably are CTs waiting for him. It didn't make any sense. It was way too aggressive. He threw away what he gained by getting that pick and stealing that gun. Just another example. Here we are again, Garchomp. At middle right now, smoking. The left side flashing over. We see his team getting ready. And let's talk about his role right now in this point. He's just pushed middle, right? He's making a bunch of noise. He's keeping all 3 players. He's playing the lurk right now, and he's entry fragging as a lurk. We see that his team wants to push into B. We have all of them bunched up here at B. Now, pushing middle solo is stupid. You need more than 1 player to do that. However, he's doing it solo because it seems like, I don't know, he's delaying, or he's making some noise, delaying these players on their rotate over here to help at B. But again, we have smokes down. Just a little communication should have been like, hey, Garchomp, maybe now is not the time to run through that smoke at A. So it didn't make any sense for him to do that in the first place. If he is playing the lurk, they should wait for these smokes here to clear so that they can throw their own smoke here, and then push into the site. Garchomp kind of jumped the gun there once again. Well, let's move forward a little bit here. He done did it. He made it work. He actually got a pick. Right now, you got to be thinking, all right, I got to pick A. What should we do? Now, at the professional level, a lot of teams will say, okay, we got a pick. We have 2 choices. One, where we got the pick, we're going to run in really quickly. Based on the positioning of the T's, that's not going to happen. So I think the right call in this situation is to calm yourself, chill. The CTs are going to have to spread themselves a little bit thin. Then you can push and take advantage of their 1 player down. So you could have taken advantage of that entry frag. Let's see what our friend Garchomp does. Flashes himself through another smoke and just charges a player. dies and gives away that advantage that they had. Very unfortunate. This is like repeatedly watching a child with a brilliant ice cream cone, getting so excited about it, and then getting too excited that he drops it on the ground, it melts, the kid's crying, it's a painful situation. Here we go again as the Terra set up to take Bombsite A. There's the double entry frags by Garjomp. He's moving in, and he dies. It's important to note that the player he was killed by is a rotating player. So let's hop in game and talk a little bit about how to deal with that and how to avoid those rotating players getting a foothold when you're still trying to take Bombsite A. I'm a terrorist, and I want to take Bombsite A without having to worry about these pesky rotators. Now, there's many different schools that thought about this. There's many different smokes that you can throw. Let's talk about two of them. Really simple. So, the first school of thought would be blocking off the two entrances and then using this passageway to take Bombsite A from 3 points. The first being this back hall over here, the second being over here at Boiler Room, and the third being from the apartments. Now, let's talk about the smokes to accomplish this. We want a smoke to land right there and a smoke to land right there. I've come up with just really easy ways to remember it. These are the ones that I use. You should come up with your own ways, or just use these if you want. Just be able to smoke the position. So you'll say, I'll smoke arch, or I'll smoke library, and just know how to do it. So if you're in that situation, you'll know to smoke and help your team out. So the first one I do is I use this shadow right here. I walk right up to the shadow, and then I look at this line right here, and I line up in the middle of it and let that go. Now that is to smoke off the archway. You'll see it bounce doop-de-doop-doop right into the arch. Watch out, chicken! And that's lovely, beautiful. Can't get any better than that. Now the second one is it so that I'm not in the same position with people who like to use this back wall. It's when we're pushing up here at mid. I'll come up to this fluffy part, the bushy part of the plant. Go right into the bushy part of the plant, and then this one's really easy because you just look right at the point right here and then just let go. Now this one is to block off the library. Look at that, beautiful. Lands right in the doorway. Couldn't get any better than that. They can't come out of there. Now, once you have those two positions smoked off, it makes sense to leave a player to watch it so that if the CTs push through that smoke, it's an easy kill. And because of this, it also opens up this back hall for your use. The negative is that the archway player may have fallen back right here, and then you have to deal with him trying to take Bombsite A. So the second school of thought is we're not going to worry about this back hall. We're going to get the bomb planted, and then we're just going to hold off the retake. Inferno, in particular, is a map where retakes are difficult, especially on Bombsite A. This is the standard plant position right here. The reason it's a standard is because you can watch it from Boiler, you can watch it from the apartments, from the pit, you can watch it from the graveyard, you can watch it from everywhere. So taking the site and planting the bomb on this map gives you a higher probability of success than any other map. CTs save on this map more than any other map, and just let the bomb go off. So this school of thought is we're not going to worry about over here. We're going to smoke it off right here as we move mid over there to Boiler, and then we're going to throw our second smoke to prevent the rotators and also prevent the archway player from dealing with us. So that smoke's going to land somewhere around here to prevent the rotators and the archway player. So let's talk about those two smokes here. I've come up with easy ways to do it again, and they're from the exact same spots too, so they're real simple. So come up to the shadow once again. This first one, you're going to be just looking right at the point right there at the top of the chimney. That's it. This one's a standard one. You should really know how to throw this. There's many different ways to do it. Come up with your way, and look at that. Just smokes it off perfectly. Don't have to deal with this spot anymore. That guy's still going to try to smoke through it. You want to also throw the flash over the top here to deal with him as you're pushing out. You got to deal with it. The second one is, again, as you're pushing up, fluffy plant. Same thing, except this is the little thing you got to remember when I'm doing these. You can come up with your own again. I duck so that the smoke lands exactly where I want. I duck and I look at this point. So before I was looking at that point, this time I'm looking at this point and let it go. Now this one prevents the players from rotating. It also prevents the archway players coming out library from seeing anything. Look, it perfectly blocks it off. They can't see anything. They can't even boost over it. It's lovely. It's perfect. It's brilliant. So that's one thing I saw missing a little bit. Throwing these smokes, taking the site, worrying about the rotators. Thank you folks very much for watching. Let's go get our owl vision. Thank you, Garchomp. I'm the TheWarOwl, and I still have no closer. Okay, so explanation for the early part of this. I drank some caffeine. That's what happens to me. I apologize. I'm chill now. I'm good. I'm chill.